Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one that I have been so excited to film, and I've kind of just been waiting for this day for so long because I am officially 1 year post-op after my full tummy tuck and mummy makeover, whatever you want to call it. Some people really don't like that term, but I don't have a problem with it. 1 year ago, I had a full tummy tuck, I had a breast lift, liposuction from my stomach, and then lipofilling to my breasts. So I had like a fat transfer. I opted to do that instead of implants. I cannot believe that it's been a year. I feel like that year has just flown past and all of a sudden it's August again. I wanted to share the progress with you guys and all of the research that I've done and everything my doctors told me and everything that seems to be out there about tummy tucks. They do say that it takes at least a full year to really recover. So I wanted to wait until I was a year out to do a full update. I go and see a gynecologist once a year, and he delivered my last 2 babies, and I trust him with my life. So last time I was there, I had mentioned to him while he was doing my breast check that I had been working out, I had been eating moderately healthy, and I really wasn't seeing any results with my abs. Now, I know that I had 5 pregnancies in 6 years, so that is hard going. Like, that's a lot to put on someone's body. I was basically pregnant and or breastfeeding from the age of 24 to 30. In fact, I think I stopped breastfeeding at 31. So only 24 to 31. You guys know me if you've watched me for years. I was exercising consistently. You know, I was doing all of the things and I just wasn't seeing any results with my abs. Like, my abs could just never ever get back. And my doctor measured a 3-finger separation, also known as diastasis recti, which is basically when your ab muscles separate, and it happens in pregnancy, but then mine never went back together. It was just a lot of strain on my body, and I was just never able to repair that naturally. Also, because of breastfeeding, I breastfed all my 4 babies for 12 months each. And so because of that, my boobs were really saggy. And I know that's such a non-issue, right? The diastasis recti was kind of more prominent. But even the breast issue, it was just like I could never wear tops without a bra. I could never not wear a bra. They would just hang really, really low. And it bothered me. Like, not to the point of I wouldn't be able to leave the house, but it did get to me sometimes, especially when I was shopping and I would look at tops and be like, I could never wear that top. It just ruled out a lot of options. And I know sounds so vain, but it is what it is, right? You're watching a video about plastic surgery. What do you expect? I also had a lot of loose skin on my stomach because of the stretching, and I gained a lot of weight in pregnancy, and that's a lot for your body to go through, like stretching and then going back in, stretching, going back in, especially when I did it 4 times to term. I had this loose skin, I had stretch marks as well. You can see from the pictures what it looked like before and after. I'll insert some before and after pictures. I was good at masking it and hiding it. However, I will say with the diastasis recti as well, I was constantly sucking in my stomach, and I had not realized, and I had underestimated how much strain that puts on your back. And that was something that I never really understood or even acknowledged until after the surgery. Now I have 0 back pain. Not that I was in like chronic pain, but I'm not having to suck in all the time. And when you suck in like that, it's almost like it puts this little strain on your back, and you don't realize that you're doing it even necessarily sometimes, but I think of the last holiday the summer holiday that we had right before, it was like a month before my surgery, and my back was in a lot of pain just from sucking in, because I felt like every time we would go out to eat, whenever my stomach would fill up, it would just pop out. So I looked like I was about 6 months pregnant, and I hated that. And you're dressed up, you're wearing a nice dress or like a figure hugging dress. And I like to wear a figure hugging dress. Like, that's just more my style. and I would constantly be sucking in, and it was just giving me some back pain, which I wasn't even really aware of. I just kind of was used to it. Now that's completely gone. Like since the surgery, that is completely gone. And it's not even why I had the surgery, but it's just a really nice perk of after. So I was at my doctor's appointment with my gynecologist, and I asked him, because he is a great doctor. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna ask him what his recommendations are. So he gave me a couple of recommendations for plastic surgeons. He recommended me my plastic surgeon. Now, I don't share the name of the plastic surgeon, only because, not because I'm trying to gatekeep, it's nothing to do with that. But in the past, I have shared the names of, you know, doctors that I've used and so on and so forth, including my gynecologist, my OBGYN. And unfortunately, there are trolls on the internet, and they go out of their way to contact those people. So I didn't want to, and they have done that to that doctor. And so I didn't want this to happen with my plastic surgeon. I just felt like I'm paying full price. This isn't a brand deal. I don't benefit anything from sharing. And like, I hate to even bring this up because it's so negative, but that is the reason. It's just a privacy and a safety thing. I didn't want the drama, honestly, of trolls finding the doctor and contacting him. So that's the only reason why I keep it private. But if anyone in real life knows me and asks me for his name, I always give it out because I'm not trying to gatekeep. I just wanted to make that clear. So I went along to my plastic surgery appointment, and he initially had scheduled me for, I think, November. He also spoke to me about different options for the breast implants, and he was really good and really balanced and kind of like talked me through all the different options, but also made me aware of the cons of breast implants. And ultimately, I just decided it wasn't for me. I went with the fat transfer option because I felt like it was the more natural way and the safer way. And I also didn't really feel like I needed breast implants. Like, it's just not really that important to me. But I'm also not bashing anyone who opts for them. I feel like everyone has to do what's right for them. For me, it just didn't really speak to me. Like when he was talking about them and showing me them on the table, I was like, I don't know, I feel like that's just not for me. But no shade to anyone who gets them, because I do think that women with implants look incredible. And even now, like, even though I got my transfer and I got my lift, when I don't wear a bra in certain tops, like I do not have that like cleavage without a bra that girls with implants have. I'm not bashing it in any way. I also just think it's your body, your choice. I don't think that anyone should tell anyone what to do. And he definitely wasn't telling me what to do. He was just giving me all of the information and he said that to me. He was like, it's ultimately your decision. But I decided that I was going to go with fat transfer. Now, I have had a lot of questions about whether or not it lasted, and I'll get to that towards the end. He originally had scheduled me in for, I think it was the November, it was like later in the year, and then some things changed and I got a phone call and they said they could squeeze me in August. And that was like a month after I had seen him. So I was like, yes, 100% yes. I do recommend, if you have school going children, to do it in the school holidays, because you won't have school pickups and school drop-offs to worry about. You cannot drive for 6 weeks. Definitely not having school runs to do was a huge bonus. I remember my oldest had a course that she was doing, I think like that week or the week of or the week after my surgery. And even that was annoying. Like Jonathan, my husband, had to do all of the drop-offs and pickups. And I felt so bad that I couldn't help. I had my surgery, everything went perfect. The hospital was incredible. I went to a private hospital in Highgate and it was incredible. The staff were amazing. They looked after me so, so well. I cannot recommend them highly enough. My doctor was incredible. All of the staff there were amazing. I'm not gonna lie though, the recovery was hard. You have so many meds. I know I've spoken about this before, but you have so many meds to take, and the meds made me so sick and so constipated. So if you are given some kind of a laxative, don't wait to take it. That's my biggest piece of advice. Take it from day one. And the recovery was hard. Like for the first 2 weeks, I would say I was pretty much out of order. Like I couldn't really do much. And that was hard for me, especially because I have 4 children. I had 6 dogs at the time. I now have 5. And it was a lot for my husband to pick up. So if I could do anything differently, I would definitely have hired a nanny for the 2 weeks, just because you are so out of order and there's no way that you can do. And then if your significant other is trying to take care of children and work and also take care of dogs and like do everything else, it's just really difficult. It's just really, really hard. I found that really tricky, and you need time to rest. I also will say, having had this experience, I'm so glad that I waited until my youngest was 5, because I think if I had babies that were still more reliant on me, that would have been incredibly difficult. Also, the kids need to understand that they can't jump on mommy and stuff like that. So, and if you're still carrying children, like if they still need to be carried, I think that's not ideal. So I'm gonna show you guys what my tummy looks like, because I know that's what everyone's here to see. At 1 year post-op. I'll try and give you guys as much of a view as possible. I'm sorry we're at the mercy of natural light right now, but hopefully you guys can see properly. There's obviously a little bit of creasing from my shorts, but this is what my stomach looks like with underwear on. You can also go to there without seeing any scars. I have got a scar on around my belly button because he created a new belly button, or a new opening for a belly button. And then I'll show you guys the scar. So it is a hip to hip scar. I'll try and insert some footage or pictures here so you can compare. But you can see that it started to get a little bit silvery rather than red. It still has some redness, but it is starting to fade. And really, no one sees the scar except for me and my husband. Like, I feel like it's healed really well. I actually don't mind it. Like when it goes this color and the red disappears, I actually kind of think that's cool. Like I don't really mind that at all. I'll show you guys too, because people have said, so basically with the tummy tuck, you get like all the loose skin cut off. And I did have stretch marks, and I will show you guys. I still have some stretch marks, like old ones, but I'll show you. I'll try and show you. So the stretch marks are here. So you see, when I bend like that, you can see them. Can you guys see that? Like that. So that's what's left of like my old stretch marks. But when your skin is stretched out like this, but when I'm standing upright, you really can't see them. And they don't bother me. But yeah, like if I go like this or bend over, you can kind of see. That is what the tummy looks like at 1 year post-op. I can't really show you guys the boobs scars just because I think I'll get blocked for nudity, but I will insert pictures. I'll put pictures on my social media as well so that you guys can see. So the question that everyone's been asking and wants to know about, how much weight did I lose? And I've addressed this before, but basically I didn't lose a lot. I feel like a lot of people think that I lost so much more than what I actually did. I'm pretty sure, and like I don't weigh myself at all, really. And I only lost 4 kgs, which really isn't a huge amount. But because of the lipo, because of the full tummy tuck, because of all of that, I think I've lost a dress size. And I think that's probably a combination of, you know, the liposuction and the loose skin being taken off and all of that. So my waist size is about a size smaller. But I haven't really lost like a substantial amount of weight. In fact, when I went for my consultation, my doctor asked me, well, he first asked me, are you done having kids? Like, are you done having babies? Which I was like, yes, because obviously it's a really expensive procedure. I guess he didn't want me to have it done if I wasn't 100% sure that I wasn't gonna have any more kids, you know? So that makes sense. And then he also asked me, are you on a weight loss plan or a weight loss journey or a weight gain journey? Like, are you done losing weight, or are you planning on losing any more? And I said no, because I wasn't. And I think he asks that because of the fat transfer. I really think that the fat transfer only works if you maintain your weight, because I did ask him about that. And he said that they don't like to see big fluctuations in weight, even just for the tummy tuck surgery. It may create more stretch marks, loose skin, you know, that kind of thing. So you kind of want to be at a stable weight. So yes, I lost weight, but no, it hasn't been as much as what people think. I think maybe it looks that way also because I've been upping it with my weight training, and I think I've gained muscle. And of course, when you gain muscle and lose fat, clothes are just going to fit different, but the weight on the scale is not going to look necessarily as crazy different. Like I said, it was a major surgery, and I do want people to be aware of that. I am sharing my personal journey, my personal story, because not to encourage anyone to get plastic surgery. That is not my goal. I'm just doing it to be 100% upfront and honest because I don't see any other way that this works. I'll always be honest about anything that I've had done or anything that haven't done. But I also don't want to gloss over the fact that this is major surgery. And I would say that to you if you were my best friend. I was terrified going into it. I won't lie. You know, I have 4 kids. I have a lot to live for. So I didn't want anything bad to happen. And it's definitely a big fear. And also, you know, it's something that you're getting done for mostly aesthetic purposes. Like, is it worth putting your life at risk? So those are things that, you know, you have to weigh up in your head, and it's really, really difficult to do that. The recovery's hard going. It took me probably the good 6 weeks to recover from that anesthesia, exhaustion, and all the drugs that you take afterwards. Like, my body was just not... It needed time to recover from that. I was super strict as well. I did not exercise for the full 6 weeks until I got my green light. I got my go ahead from my doctor, and I wore my girdle thing, and then I wore the compression socks, which was hell. But I did all of the things that he told me to do. I'm very much a rule follower. So I did all of the things that I was meant to do. They also really encourage you to eat the high protein diet after, and I think that helps to like rebuild the skin cells and to rebuild the collagen in your skin and like to repair the skin after the trauma that it's been through. So I have been trying to incorporate more protein into my diet for the past year. Do I think it was worth it? And would I do it again? And would I recommend it? 100% yes. I feel like, yes, it was expensive. It was very expensive. After everything that I had been through, this is how I see it, okay? You can have the same opinion or not. You can disagree or not. I don't really care. But from my side, we as women go through so much to bring our babies onto this earth, and we sacrifice a lot. We go through so much, and we do it for the good of our family, right? And this is how my husband sees it too, because he said that. He was actually the one that he didn't convince me to get it, but he convinced me that it was okay for me to want it. He was like, you've done so much for the family, and now it's your turn. It's your turn to do something for you. And that's how I feel about it. And my mom also is so like not anti-plastic surgery, but she's just like the opposite of me in that way. Like she's not really into it. And I know she was very concerned when I told her that I was going to have a tummy tuck. But with something like the diastasis recti, like a separation, and like the organs were protruding through, like that's what's happening. She was like, she's also non-judgmental. She was kind of like, you do you. But even she was like, there's nothing wrong with fixing something that has been broken. And there's no shame around that. I know that it's mostly for aesthetic purposes, because obviously the benefits are largely aesthetic, right? There's also nothing wrong with acknowledging that that was something that had been broken during pregnancy, and the doctor just basically put it back together. I do think that if you can afford it, if it's in your budget, if it's something that you really, really want, there is no shame in getting it done. I also had got to a really healthy headspace with my body image where I was under no illusion that this was going to be like a magic pill that would make me all of a sudden totally happy with my body in every single way, because it's not. There's obviously still going to be things and areas that you want to improve on or insecurities that you might have, but I would be lying if I said it hadn't given me a sense of confidence. I feel like I can wear what I want now. I feel really good about my tummy again. Also wanted to share my journey in case there are people out there that have had a lot of babies or a lot of pregnancies, or have just felt like their body has changed a lot in pregnancy and they feel like there's no hope for them. And if this is a huge insecurity for them and, you know, it's something that they really, really struggle with, just to know that there's hope and that it is something that you can get fixed. And I don't think there is any shame in that and anything wrong with that. I hope that I got my message across in the right way. It's so hard with topics like this, but I just want to be 100% transparent and honest. If you have any questions at all, leave them below. I might even do a follow-up video, like a Q&A, if you guys have questions that I haven't covered. I'll try and respond to as many as possible down below. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my other social media where I've got tons of updates on there from like the day I got my surgery to like, and up until a couple of months after. I did updates on my TikTok and on my Instagram, so definitely check them out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as part of the family, and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.